Retro Web Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Retro Web Podcast. We're your hosts, Alex.
I keep going bigger and bigger each week. It's getting so much like sexy when you go big. When you go big, it's sexy.
Well, thank you. What's funny is that whenever I have like a co-host, it's easy to like go big when I first start off without one. I don't know if I just feel like a giant loser or what.
I love the beginning of some of the shows. Hi, I'm Alex.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about things.
Yeah. It's that I have a co-host, my confidence is up. And...
Yeah, it's fine. You'll get it.
Yeah, actually, I just recorded a Stro show yesterday since you weren't able to, so I was like, oh, it gives me time to do it. And so I start recording one, and about 10 minutes into it, Amy comes up and says, hey, you know what, I'm thinking I want to join you this time.
There's 20 minutes left.
So, I stopped recording and started all over. But what's funny is that I felt like I had a good, strong, start, and then I felt like I was scrambling it, starting to scramble a little bit. And then once I was starting to come back from that, I felt like that's when Amy walked in.
Oh, so it saved the day.
Yeah. So what I deleted that and started again with her, and I think it was 1,000 times better.
There you go.
Yeah, it, when you I say this every time now we talk, but hosting something solo is a lot harder than you would think it would be.
It's tough.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we really get started with the podcast, I want to bring up how people should be subscribing to the YouTube page. YouTube.com/theretrowave. If you like what we do, it's a great place to subscribe to our stuff. Also, of course, subscribe to the iTunes page. I've realized that on iTunes, it looks like we are getting bigger and bigger. We seem to have more and more downloads for our stuff.
That is a good thing.
Yeah, it's really cool, So the actual our podcast seems to be picking up some speed here.
Yay! That's good because we put in some work.
Yeah, we try our best at least to do this every week, and we have fun doing it.
We do. It's a blasty blast.
It is. It really is.
And it's instant. When we film, it takes a day or two to film a sketch, and then a couple days to edit, and then it takes some time to render. So it's a 2-week process. When we do the podcast, it's up that night or the morning next day.
Yeah, I do my best to get it up as quickly as possible.
So it's an instant media.
Yeah, and I believe our most downloaded podcast at the moment, in a week to 2 week time, is our turtle one.
Yeah, I know that even on YouTube that's got the most views. I noticed that today I went up and checked up the YouTube. I was like, wow, the Turtles one. That's because it's super relevant now. The movie only 12 days away.
Yeah, and then next one after that, this is based on, this is iTunes / any other podcasting site that picks it up. That's what I'm basing these numbers off of. So I'm not even looking at YouTube with it. Right. But it's the Turtles one is first, and then Thick of the Night.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, story. I don't want to interrupt you, but my cousin Dave got a new phone today.
Yep.
And he sent me a picture. It sent me a text that said, "Send me a picture." ... Not a naughty one. It's for my ID for when I call.
It's sad when your own cousin has to specify that to you.
Yeah, I know. So I sent him the album cover for Thick of the Night. And he's like, "Hey, that's your photo ID for when you call me." I was like, "That's fine. I can move that."
That's awesome.
So when I call Big Dave, it is Alan Thicke's Thick of the Night album cover.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You introduced me to such good things. That Thick of the Night song is catchy as hell. It is so 80s montage that it's not fun.
It's ridiculous and too good to not.
Have I mentioned I purchased it on iTunes?
Did you really?
I did.
That's fun. That's awesome. I have to go tell Amy now.
Yeah.
But actually, after you and I did that podcast, Amy and I ended up having to talk about Alan Thick of the Night a little bit.
It's a good song, man. It's a good 80s song. It's very Hall & Oates.
Yeah. What's funny is that Amy, she likes to watch his TV show. Was Unusually Thick.
Yeah.
But like,
such a porn name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, she feels ashamed watching it whenever I'm around. Because like the one time I happened to sit down and try to watch it with her, he was doing ads for like erectile dysfunction.
Well, with a name like Thick, you would think you wouldn't need that.
Yeah. And so so he's making all kinds of like thick jokes involving.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah. So she's sitting here. She's like, I feel like you just caught me watching something I shouldn't be, something naughty.
That's like when she would catch you watching the Shake Weight commercials. They're not completely dirty, but it's intended.
Yeah. So we have a lot to talk about in this episode.
We have so much. We have the new top 10 we'll dive into in a minute. And we're on the end of Comic-Con weekend.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened at Comic-Con. I actually posted up just a few different things that kind of perked my interest. It's not even everything that perked my interest. It's just a few things that kind of, it was enough to make me want to post something about them.
Right. I'm telling you, everybody's like, oh, they showed teaser footage from Superman and Batman and blah, blah. DC, blah, 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 blah. A Marvel one. All they did was release a photo of the movies coming out between now and 2019, and they won. And they showed a little footage from Avengers, too, but they won on just what they're about to do. And DC was just like, hey, we're finally doing stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you. Another Batman and Superman movie. We've had 20 of those in the last, 20 years. Good job for doing the same shit again. We're going to get Avengers 2 and 3 and a new Hulk movie. And
yeah, I'm really excited about Civil War.
Oh.
Of course, Avengers 2 coming out. Like, Ant-Man, I'm actually kind of excited to see.
I was until I saw the poster.
I didn't pay enough attention to. No, like I was trying to keep up to date as to what's going on. But I know there's a lot of stuff I missed.
Yeah, there's some of the stuff that I pay close attention to certain things, like the Playmate Toys stuff, all the new Turtle stuff coming out, and blah, blah, blah. But the Ant-Man poster, I didn't give two shits about Ant-Man. I was like, well, they're doing Age of Ultron before Ant-Man, so I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of I wish that they had. I wish they had Ant-Man in the Avengers. Like he was an Avenger.
He was one of the original.
Like he's the reason why Ultron exists.
Yeah, but they're going with the Tony Stark did it, which is it is what it is.
Yeah, it makes sense for him also. Like he's a genius also.
Right.
It's. And I know Ant-Man created him, trying to create like the perfect helper bot.
Yeah, they just gave that to Tony Stark in Avengers 2. That's all they did. They took that story, gave it to Tony Stark. But it's like Ant-Man doesn't do shit. He did one thing, and it's create Ultron, and they take it from him.
Yeah.
And it's not even using Hank Pym, so it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
He's going to be in it as old man,
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Black Panther one.
That's what I'm excited about. Like
that one looks the story to it, just from most of the stuff I know about Avengers in general, a lot of Marvel stuff in general are from the cartoons.
Yeah. I say cast Terry Crews.
What?
Terry Crews has to play Black Panther.
Oh wait, Terry Crews. Let me see.
Old Spice. He's been in a bunch of Sandler movies. Cheeseburger Eddie from Longest Yard. He's the Old Spice commercial guy.
Oh, that guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Or Luke Cage, man. But then need Terry Crews in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I could see him possibly being
Black
Panther, yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to go... They're probably going with more serious tone for Black Panther.
I'm also excited about Doctor Strange.
Oh, yes.
Especially
if Phoenix does it, because they're in negotiations with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, you know, I could kind of see him as a Doctor Strange. Like, I imagine...
him or Depp.
Who? Johnny Depp?
Yeah, but I think he's too burdened out right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want... I feel like Joaquin Phoenix would have the right... He could pull off the right mannerisms and stuff to be Doctor Strange. Where I feel like Johnny Depp might feminize him too much.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like he always has to have some sort of... Like, I know he can pull off normal people because he's done it in the past, but I feel like he's done so many, like...
Tim Burton shit.
Yeah, or he has all these weird, effeminate hand gestures.
Yeah.
I feel like he might put that into Doctor Strange, and the stuff... as I said, most of the stuff is from, like, different Marvel animated movies I've seen, stuff like that.
I look at it like this. Depp is a great character actor, but Joaquin, I think, is a better actor.
I'm trying to think as to who I feel like would be like the absolute perfect look, but I can't place it yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll think of it before the end of the podcast. If not,
yeah, when we dive into the Comic-Con stuff.
Yeah. But all right, let's get to our top 10.
It is top 10 time. Top 10 cartoons from our childhood.
Yeah. So this is like 80s, 90s, whenever. You know, from the point of whatever we feel like to now, and stuff that we watched growing up.
Mine goes pretty much from like 84 to like 95.
Mine doesn't really go...
Not in that order, but those are the time frames of the cartoons. So it's like 95, I was high school and shit, so...
That's about the time frame I have also.
Yeah. Alright, who's starting?
All right, well, before we start, I do want to say I reserve the right to switch out the order of these at any time.
Me too, and I also have an honorable mention when I get to number 5 because I'm taking out number 5 and putting something else in. I had a brain fart. I don't know why.
All right. Well, I'll start up. All right. I'm going to throw... I had trouble just bringing it down to 10.
Oh, me too, dude.
And I was going to go with 1, and I changed my mind last second.
All right. Put it like this. I have about 50 on screen right now, and I had to go put numbers next to the ones I wanted. So there's like 40 that I didn't put on the list. Yeah,
there's same kind of thing here. It's like all right, I was originally going to choose Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
As like my like number 10, because growing up I loved Scooby-Doo, you know, and his, you know, the mysteries and it was just entertaining, you know.
Yep.
But then I was just happened to be strolling through just some of the other cartoons I used to watch, and I came across Reboot.
Right.
I was like, well, Scooby-Doo has been through a lot of phases. And
yes,
I love Scooby-Doo, don't get me wrong, and I guess that would be my honorable mention right now.
All right.
But so number 10 I'm putting as Reboot.
Ah.
And you know, this is a last second switch out of you know.
That's kind of a low key cartoon.
Yeah, it's I remember watching it and really enjoying it as a kid. You know, where like Scooby-Doo, like I don't feel like I always had to sit and watch it all the time, but when Reboot was on, like I would choose that over Scooby-Doo when I was a kid, because I felt like it was that show that I felt like wasn't gonna make it, and I had to put as much time into it as possible.
Right.
So what's your number 10?
Number 10 for me is Muppet Babies.
Muppet, that's a good one, and that's actually one I had forgotten about. That's a good number 10.
It is. By the way, like 5 or 6 of these on my list have been remade or about to be remade. Because number 2, they're actually doing a movie about a live
Yeah.
action CG spin-off movie, and I'll get to that when I get to number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Muppet Babies. Shit, dude. Spielberg, Lucas,
Yeah.
Henson. It is the epitome of childhood, like imagination. Yeah. Oh, classic.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
All right. So my number 9 is DuckTales.
Ooh.
I I love DuckTales. I'd watch it all the time.
I still watch it.
We talked about DuckTales in a previous one. Actually, that was one of our
Stump Alex's theme music.
Yeah, which didn't stump me, but
It didn't. It's too simple.
Yeah.
DuckTales. Classic.
Hey, you know what? Like, before we continue on, if you guys have a top 10, give us our top 10. Comment on the YouTube video. Send us an email. Comment on the webpage, because there should be comments a lot on there. If not, email me. Let me know. Hey, Alex, you lied to me. It's not.
You tell blind stories, sir. I cannot comment. That's what you email him.
Yeah. But okay, all right, continue on. Number 9. Sorry for interrupting. I want people to get into this, and talk about it, and stuff like that.
Relive that childhood.
Yeah.
Number 9, Disney's Gummy Bears.
That was almost on my top 10 list also. It's not, but it was a really hard choice, and that's why I always reserve that right to switch out whatever I feel like.
Yes, sir. You're gonna realize that most of my top 10 is I quizzed you recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love Gummy Bears.
Yeah, there's rumor that's going back to Disney as a reboot.
I hopefully if they
keep
do
the theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the success of Turtles, now they're like, okay, there is a marketplace for old shows with new animation.
Yeah.
All right, you're number 8.
Number 8, Batman Beyond.
Ooh.
That
is in my 40 that I didn't put on. That and Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, and I had trouble placing this one. It was one of those. There are a lot of stuff that I hold like close to my heart, and I think the only reason why I landed at 8 as opposed to higher up is because it came later. Yeah, it came later in my life.
Yeah, I used to watch as when I was younger, but not as much as I did when I got older.
Yeah.
Because I realized, look, same thing with the Batman Animated Series. I used to watch it, but I recently watched it, like, within the last 6 months, all of it, and I was like, this holds water very fucking well.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we'll talk about Batman Animated Series later on.
Yes,
in this top 10, trust me.
Oh yeah, we will. Number 8 for me is Thundercats, which if you know me,
yeah.
I have.
You have a tattoo.
Yeah, I got a Thundercat tattoo. I got the fucking figures. Thundercats, man. And there's rumors of a live action with Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that one's on your top 10. And that's another one of the ones where, like, I felt like it should be in there, but I couldn't place it. So.
Right. It's hard. It's because it's a cartoon, but it's not like Muppet Babies or other stuff where it's more for, like, teens.
Yeah.
Teens. So, like, it came out, I was, like, 3 or 4, so it was a different breed.
Yeah. It is still a great show.
Actually, my next 2 are kind of like that. It's like they came out when I was really young, so I had to watch repeats and shit. Like, I was more hooked on the toys before I went to the show.
Yeah, one of mine is kind of like that. That's actually in my top 10.
Yeah.
All right,
you're 7, sir.
X-Men animated series.
Yeah.
I love watching that. Actually, that and Spider-Man, I'd constantly watch as much as possible. But Spider-Man's not on my top 10.
Right.
This time. It might change in about 10 minutes.
Right.
But yeah, both of those, I loved watching them. And I think the reason why X-Men made it this time around is because of just a lot of this Marvel X-Men talk and stuff like that, and I've also been playing the Family Guy.
Quest for stuff.
Yeah, that
you
on
get
my phone.
Are you hooked?
Yeah, well, when the Comic-Con update came
Oh my
in,
god, it was so good.
and I get to get Patrick Stewart.
I got him. I unlocked him yesterday.
Yeah, me too, actually. I couldn't help but put X-Men on here, even though the cartoon isn't the same as having the actual legitimate Patrick Stewart from the movies.
Right.
But I think that was part of the influence.
Right. Oh, that game, man. I just unlocked Meg. I love that game.
Oh yeah, it's fun to play.
It really is. Even though you got to set everything up and come back hours later to finish your shit, but it's not like the other iPhone games.
Yeah. It's weirdly addicting, and
it's teaching me patience. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It's teaching me patience, dude.
Yeah. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is He-Man. Masters of the Universe. Yeah.
That's one I forgot about.
Another one. I love
that too.
They're doing a new live-action movie called Grayskull. I can't wait. 2016.
Power of Grayskull.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's one of the shows that I was young when it came out, when I was into the toys before I knew there was an actual movie. But a actual show.
Yeah.
But He-Man has been through a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's been through like 4 animated shows. A Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy watching that movie. People hate it, but it's bad good.
Yeah. I know what you mean. We bring up Surf Ninjas probably every podcast now because I love Surf Ninjas so much.
It's a bad good movie.
Yeah. It's a bad good movie. Of course, I consider Surf Ninjas as like the bad good movie that is aware that it's a bad movie, which is why it's so good.
They break the fourth wall, if I remember, a couple times.
Yeah.
We need to get together and have a bad movie night again.
Yeah. Maybe watch Surf Ninjas.
I got it, so.
Yeah.
I got that. I got Masters of the Universe on Blu-ray, so we can watch that shit. Your turn for 6.
Number 6, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 80s, one that started in the 80s, because I know there have been a few versions since then.
You're gonna be shocked when I say this to you. It is not on my top 10.
I am shocked. Like that one specifically, or Turtles in general?
Turtles in general is not on my top list.
I am genuinely surprised because I remember texting you a photo of a bicycle helmet that represented one of the turtles, and like,
what was my response? I have that.
Yeah.
Don't own a bike nor children, but I have that.
Yeah, and it wouldn't fit your head anyway. And I remember thinking to myself that I wish I had a head small enough, or that this helmet was big enough for me to be able to use.
I didn't put it on there because it was obvious.
Yeah.
Because it would be 1 through 10 for me. Every incarnation. But I didn't do that because it's obvious.
Yeah. All right, that's fair enough. I get it.
But yeah, anybody knows, the podcast knows, I am a nerdle.
Yeah, nerdle.
Yeah, Trekkies have, Star Trek has Trekkies, yeah.
Trekkies or Trekkers, which...
Either way,
I'm not going to get into that now.
Or as my father calls them, basement dwellers. It's just...
I just don't know what you guys mean by this.
Yeah. Everybody knows Turtles is my number 1, but I wanted to, be diverse.
Yeah. It makes sense.
If I didn't say that, you were assuming Turtles was 1, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking that Turtles was at least in the top 5, most likely top 3.
Yeah. Nope. I'm gonna blow your mind when I get down to my top 5.
I actually, you know what I actually was thinking? I figured, Thundercats was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Turtles was number 2. That's what I thought you were gonna give me.
Nope. I wanted to switch it
and
up.
You didn't. You threw me a curveball.
It wasn't. Turtles isn't even on my 40 that I didn't put on the list.
Yeah.
All right. It is mine for 6.
Yeah.
It is G.I. Joe.
Real American hero.
It's again.
G.I. Joe is
like
there.
like 8, 7, and 6, man, I knew about the toys, and I had the toys before I knew it was a cartoon. And then when I was old enough and I watched the cartoon, I loved it.
Oh, I used to watch G.I. Joe before school every day. All right. My parents would drop me off at like a family friend's house, like their son or grandson or something was going to the same school I was, so it was easy, and it was on my mom's way to work.
Right.
So she would just drop me off there, and then the bus would pick me up from there, and we would watch G.I. Joe. We'd sit and have some sort of like cake snack thingy.
Right.
And we would watch G.I. Joe while doing that. I remember I got yelled at for dropping crumbs on the floor. Like, I didn't mean to do it, just kind of happened, you know. It's like,
right.
You're a kid, you're watching freaking G.I. Joe, you know.
Your excitement makes crumbs fall.
Yeah.
I actually was like 5 or 6 before I realized there was a cartoon, and I found out through wrestling because of Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh yeah. Oh well. So like the one of the few times where you can take, you know, a wrestling character and throw him into a cartoon, and you wouldn't be the wiser.
Right.
You know. Sergeant Slaughter was awesome.
It was. Yep. It was the reason why I found out. Well, I had the toys, and I was like, "Oh, Sergeant Slaughter's in wrestling." My dad was like, "No, dumbass. He is in wrestling, but Sergeant Slaughter's G.I. Joe." Yeah, I got the toy. No, it's a show, stupid.
I can imagine your dad actually saying that to you.
Yeah.
We should get your dad on the podcast.
We should. My dad's a funny dude.
Your dad is a.
I ever tell you about the lady antebellum situation?
No, I don't think so.
All right, it's gonna take a second to describe the story, but trust me, we'll get back to the top. We got 5 left, so.
Yeah, it's a good like break point.
Yeah, we were driving. It was me, my dad, and Big Dave, and Lady Antebellum came on the radio. You know, it's 1:15. That song.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. I turned it up. I was like, it's not my style, but I like it. My dad, without missing a beat, was like, you said the same thing about Dick.
Your dad's hysterical. What was that one thing he yelled outside? He was driving by and he yelled it out the window.
We were filming. It was me, you, and Antoine, and he drove away. He's like, "Don't worry, guys. I'll bring it back. I'll bring back you guys KY.
Yeah.
I'll bring the KY back for you guys."
Your dad is hysterical.
He's a comic genius sometimes.
I think one of the reasons why I missed coming by your house, like when you lived at your parents' house, was that the back and forth between you and your dad.
Oh, it was great. That's how he gave me a WWE low blow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we were standing in the kitchen. It was me, my mama, Santina, and my dad. And my dad came on. I was like, "What's up, old man?" And he went to nut check me, and he missed. And he came around me, and he got down. He gave me the China from WWE low blow. And he was like, "Ah!" And I instantly had to go poop. That's how hard he hit me. He almost hit the button and made me poop. I was like, "Oh my god, my dad just low blowed me."
We really should get your dad on.
We should. He's funny as hell.
Yeah. All I can imagine him is just making gay jokes about you.
Yeah. He's the reason why I saw Porky's at 12. He was like, "You're old enough. Let's watch Porky's." All right. Oh, my dad's comic genius. All right, yeah. You're number 5, sir.
All right, number 5. All right, this is one a lot of kids these days don't know existed, or if they know it exists, they only know it as the remake show.
They got narrowed down because a lot of these kids, when they released Titanic again, they just thought it was a movie that didn't really happen. So,
Voltron.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, and that was one of those things where you know how you're talking about you knew about the toy first. That was me. Like yeah. I was young at the point where I knew about the toys because of my older brother loved Voltron also. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we had the toys and everything, and then I realized it was a cartoon also, and started watching that. And very few kids these days, kids that are like 5 years younger, at least than I am. I know you're a couple years older than me.
But
So
I want to say 24 to under don't know shit about what was back in the day unless it's cool retro with t-shirts nowadays.
yeah, so like Voltron has kind of
It has a
that.
cult following, yeah.
Yeah. Like some do. Like I actually met one kid who he was like freaking like Voltron's a shit, man. You know, like I was surprised that he knew what it was, and the relative age difference of being about 5 years younger than me.
That means he's got an older brother.
Actually, I don't think he does. Maybe
No?
he does. I don't know. I know he has a brother. I don't know if he's older or younger.
Either that or really cool parents.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's where it's lost. Either if you don't have older siblings or cool parents, you're not going to know half this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is where it gets tricky for my top five. Because I'm taking my top five out and putting something else in. So my top five honorable mention is a pup named Scooby-Doo.
That's a good one. I used to watch that too.
Yeah, it's a classic. But I'm taking that out, and my real top five, my number five is the real Ghostbusters.
That's a good one.
It's
That's actually in my top five also.
yeah,
Actually, the last four of my top five are probably the most predictable. Like 4 of 5 of my top 5 that if anyone were to just randomly guess based on all the stuff we talk about on the podcast, they could probably figure it out. Really.
Yep. My 4 and 3 might get you. My 2 and 1 might be pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But my 4 and 5 are gonna stump you. It's good. Like, oh really? I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, real Ghostbusters. Again, I knew about the cartoon because I was old enough. But what made me love that show more was the toys.
Yeah, the toys.
The toys.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I really wanted all the toys. I see the commercials when I was a kid, and I was like, man, I want that toy. I want that toy. I want that toy.
I've recently got about 90% of the figures, almost all the vehicles. I just got to get the firehouse.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When I get them, I come over and play.
Yeah.
Ask Amy if you come spend the night. Play Super.
Yeah, I'll go up to Amy. I'm like, hey, Amy, is it okay if Johnny comes over to play? He's gonna bring over his Ghostbusters toys. We're gonna go play with them. We're gonna go Ghostbusting. Slimer escaped again. We gotta go catch him.
I see if my mom order a pizza and we'll play Super Nintendo all night and toys.
I was trying to sound as adorable as possible.
It was very adorable. You're number 4, good sir.
All right, number 4, Transformers.
More than meets the eye. That is not on my list. It's on my 40, but it's not on my 10.
Yeah, it's I love that show. I knew about the show before the toys. I remember I was like, man, Transformers is so awesome. And then one of my friends brought a Transformers toy into school. I was like, holy crap, dude. And of course, it's like the really bad transforming kind of, like it didn't transform the same way it did in the cartoon.
Right.
Or not like the new Transformers toys.
Yeah.
And so, but I thought it was cool. I was like, holy crap! Like, where'd you get that? He's like, Toy Store.
Christmas.
Yeah. My dad gave it to me.
Yeah.
I guess it's from the toy store. It's a toy.
He's up on current events.
Yeah.
He knows the pulse of this generation.
Yeah, and so I was so excited. I went home and told my dad, Dad, I need to get Transformers toys. I need to get Optimus Prime and every single other one.
I had a few. I still have right now in my mom's attic. I got Soundwave, and about a year or so ago, and I bought a non-orange tipped Megatron.
Oh.
Which is rare because right after the toy came out, it came with that law: guns had to have orange tips.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I have a non-orange tipped Megatron, which is sweet.
Yeah, that is awesome. So what's your number 4?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I that was one that I considered put on my top 10 also. That's a good choice. Very good choice.
It is. I'm kind of upset that my top 10 movies from childhood, I didn't put the Chipmunk Adventure on there.
Oh yeah.
It was in the running, but I went with Disney's Robin Hood.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I had randomly saw The Great Mouse Detective.
oh, it's a good flick.
Yeah, it's like, man, that would have been another good one to throw in there.
That is a real good flick.
Yeah. It's I bought it like when it was re-released on DVD and Blu-ray. I bought it on Blu-ray.
Did you? It's a good flick.
Yeah.
It's overlooked.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
You're number 3, big boy.
All right. You used this one earlier on, but it's G.I. Joe.
Ooh, you went low with that one. Nice.
Yeah. Well, I told you before. Like or before school every day for a period of time, I'd watch it with this one. I think the kid's name was Moose. I think that's what we called him. I think his real name was Joe, but everyone called him Moose.
Was he big?
No, actually, he wasn't. I don't know why they called him Moose. My only assumption is that maybe he used a lot of mousse in his hair.
I knew 3 Mooses when I was growing up, and they were all brothers. Their last name was Moose Atelli, so we just called him Moose.
I don't think his last name was Moose.
Yeah, there's 3 brothers, and they lived on a street, and every one of them, when they got to a certain age, just started calling him Moose. When the other one moved on, all right, you're done. Now you're a Moose. You're good. Okay, he's out of school. Now you're a Moose.
That's funny.
That's how it works.
Actually, that's kind of like how it was like for myself and my brother. Like my older brother, he's 5 years older than me,
right?
And so a lot of the people, or I should say, like siblings of the people he knew, referred to him as Stro.
Right.
All right. So once he was kind of like gone, he went off to college. At first, they called my mom Stro because of that, because my mom was a teacher. And then they started calling me Stro. And that, of course, that's where the Stro Show name comes from. It's because of that.
Stro, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's not as entertaining as the Moose story. But...
Well, it's still good. Similar. My 3?
Yeah.
This was the epitome of Saturday morning cartoons for me. Okay. On Saturday mornings on ABC, when this show was over, Saturday morning cartoons were over. That means it was outside time, right?
Yeah.
So this was my favorite Saturday morning cartoon because it was the last of the morning cartoons, and it was like go outside afterwards. But it was one of those shows where like, oh, it's over, I want more. And that is the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show. It's
a good one. And you know what's funny? I was thinking about putting on something like the genuine like classic kind of cartoons.
Right.
In my list, and because I watched those a lot too, but like when I think back in my childhood, I didn't think of those as much. Like even though they were like a big part, and I remember them, I had to go back to the ones where that really kind of I guess captivated me.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
The thing with the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show, all it was old shorts that they just put bookends on.
Oh yeah.
They just put an opening, the time is now, yeah. And then they had end credits. But it was just the new beginning and new ending with shorts in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Which is, but it was just...
Oh, yeah, it's just repackaging something.
Exactly. It was just like, fuck, it's 11 o'clock. It's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was if I remember correctly, it was the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And then it was the Bugs Bunny Tweety show, and then it was, hey, time to go outside and play.
Yeah.
And at 12 o'clock, when all the shows were over, or 11 o'clock when all the shows were over, you just see doors open and kids flood into the street, which is dead. That shit doesn't exist anymore. Kids don't go outside and play no more, and they don't watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is.
That in like 10 years, these lists won't exist anymore because they don't have anything.
Let's not talk about that. Don't scare me like that.
All right, go to your number 2.
I'm gonna have to start buying like archival like Blu-rays and stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Of all this great stuff, just to save for my kids, and then pretend we have cable,
It's Saturday morning, kids.
It's Saturday morning. Let's turn on the cable box here, because like you gotta have the same kind of element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go to school, like, what the fuck are you talking about that? What?
No, it was like Saturday morning cartoons, man. You know, like we watched. You know. Like,
do you remember the 5 hours of summer?
Yeah.
One Saturday morning.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh man.
They don't have that. That's sad.
Yeah. It's not the same thing anymore.
I don't get those. Kids still watch cartoons, like Turtles and all those shits are big. I don't know why they just don't do a block. Just test it. Just do a test. Do like for a summer. Bring it back. Just see if it'll work.
Yeah. I agree.
It was it's something they can, not even the summer, do it during the school year. Like,
yeah.
And then like towards the end they went to live action shows, and that's why I failed. Like if you would have stayed with cartoons, it probably would have still be on.
Yeah.
But you're number 2, sir.
The Real Ghostbusters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When that came out on DVD, you have no idea how quickly I was at the store purchasing it. Like on the night of release for volumes 1 and 2,
you were
was there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get the complete series. It comes in the Firehouse.
Yeah.
But that shit expensive as fuck.
I hate it when they do that, because then like at that time, like if they just release everything at once with the Firehouse, that's what I would have gotten instead of trying to get it piecemeal. Because
I got the Turtle van, and you take the top off the van, and it's all fucking seasons of Turtles, and it was only like 70 something. And there's way more episodes of Turtles than there's Ghostbusters, but I think it's because it's rare, like they didn't make as many.
Yeah, it's one of those, and I think it's partially also the whole idea of they didn't know how it was going to sell, so it was one of those.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to price it a little higher.
But you can only get it pretty much on Amazon, and every time they sell one of them, the price goes up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the way they do it is weird.
It's probably because it's a limited quantity.
Yeah, well, they have it at FYE, but it's like even way more at FYE. I saw it there for like, it had a price tag of like 200, and it's only like 110 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, and my number 2.
Yes.
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, that one almost made it on my top 10 list also.
They're actually doing a movie.
Like an animated movie, I assume?
Yeah, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers origin story, how they all came about.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
is it going to be one of those like legitimate theatrical?
Yeah, it's going to be like Chip and Dale. I mean, it's going to be like Elvin Chipmunks.
Okay.
It's going to be live action.
Oh, okay. I see.
But Disney's doing it, so it might be all right. Like, how can you fuck that up? The Chipmunks, they made them small, like the original sketches. They didn't do the cartoon. But look at Chip and Dale are that size.
Yeah.
Haven't solved fucking mysteries. We're golden.
Yeah.
You don't. It's all I need. And they promise the theme song will be in there.
Yeah.
I want a DuckTales, like Pixar, like DreamWorks animation movie for DuckTales too.
Yeah. Well, isn't DuckTales Disney?
Yeah.
All right.
They're not going to make a Pixar movie, but actually, I'd like to see old-fashioned animation. But
with the actual cells and everything. Yeah.
They want that no more.
Not anymore.
It's cheaper and quicker to do the computer shit.
Oh yeah, it definitely is for them.
But I wouldn't mind seeing a DuckTales story. Why not? It was a DuckTales movie. They all came together for the fucking game, and it sold fucking very well.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe they're testing the waters with Chip and Dale. Because if we're going to go Chip and Dale, which was not as popular as DuckTales, you know they have a DuckTales in the work. There has to be. They're not going to do... They
did do the remastered game.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like movie-wise. Like, they might... Like, we'll see if Chip and Dale does business, because it was not as big as DuckTales. And if Chip and Dale does business, we'll do DuckTales. That's what I think they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because DuckTales has a huge resurgence right now. Like, especially because of the game coming back out.
Oh, yeah. It brought people, like us, out of the woodwork and getting it played.
I love the remastered. I played that shit hard.
Oh, yeah.
You're number 1.
Anyone who knows me should know what this is. Batman, the animated series.
Yeah.
I loved it as a kid, and you know what's funny? I enjoyed it so much, but like the Superman one, like killed me.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get into.
Do you own it?
I own like 3 out of the 4.
You're gonna be really mad when I tell you this.
Volumes. What?
Where I work, like again, I said it before. I won't say where I work, but we have the complete series for $25 on DVD.
I might be tempted to get that anyway because I would spend just as much just to get the single one.
Yeah, it's $25 for the complete series.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. When I got older and it came out on DVD, I had to get them and watch them all over again.
It's a little bit of a drive, but you know how much I paid for DuckTales and Chip 'n Dales?
What?
$10 for two seasons.
That's not bad at all. It's really good actually.
So $20-something for the whole run of Chip 'n Dale and DuckTales, and it's $25 for the Batman animated series.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to probably go pick it up. See, the one thing I loved about that show, I didn't, you don't really know about it until you're older, but it's like they actually had a legitimate orchestra.
Yeah.
For like the first was it 2 seasons of it? Yep. I think it was 2, maybe 3 seasons. And it was, to this day it holds up.
It does. I watched the whole show, the whole series recently, and I was like, this show could come out now and still be as good.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, in fact, I want to go watch it now. I just got Amazon Prime not that long ago.
Oh, it's all on there. Isn't it the best?
Yeah. I
love Prime.
But like, I still feel like I need my own physical copies of it anyway. It's like that's how much I enjoy it.
You need to search Prime. I don't want to interrupt you, but do you know what's on Prime?
What?
Everything. Go to kids, the kids section, and watch now.
Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
Doug.
I saw a bunch of those on there. Yeah.
Hey Dude, the whole Snick lineup's there, man. All the old Nick shows, Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold.
Yeah. A ton of like some of the great stuff that we grew up with.
Yep. That's where I'm doing most of the research is for the reviews I'm doing for the YouTube page.
Yeah, it's man, I love those all those shows, but like Batman, like every time we talk on the podcast, we bring up Batman, and I would I can't help but express how much I love Batman.
Yeah.
Somewhere Christian Bale feels slightly violated, I feel like.
Ick. You put your fingers in Bale's Batcave.
That's really disgusting.
It means 2 things. Alright, I suppose it's my number 1. Do you want to take a guess?
See, at this point, I already told you what I felt like your number 1 and 2 were going to be.
Yeah, I switched it.
Yeah.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
DuckTales.
Woohoo. DuckTales, my number 1.
Yeah, I had to throw that in the top 10.
DuckTales, to me, is one of the best cartoons ever made.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome.
Because, look, I'm a huge turtle fan. I have hundreds of figures and play sets. I collect them. I collect all turtles. I have tattoos of turtles. But if you go back and watch the Turtle Show, there's a lot of lame, corny errors, and it's a good cartoon, but it doesn't hold up. Go back and watch DuckTales. More so than any other cartoon. That shit holds water strong.
Oh yeah, it's funny. A lot of the cartoons from the 90s, like some of the animation doesn't hold up to today.
Yeah.
Like DuckTales holds up, but like X-Men, if you watch it now, and of course a lot of the dialogue and story aren't very good in general anyway.
Yeah.
But like if you watch it, it's actually not done very well.
I'd say the same thing for Chip 'n Dale's, because when I bought that within the last year and I watched the whole series of Chip 'n Dale, guess what? That holds up pretty goddamn well too.
Yeah, same thing with Batman. I think that's part of the reason why it really holds up. It is like the animation's done really, really well.
It's because it's Disney. Disney is what? A animation machine. They put as much... That's why it only had short runs, because they treated each episode as a movie.
Yeah.
And DuckTales, here's another good thing. It's consistent. Like, Each episode leads into the next episodes, and they discuss other episodes, and it's not just a different episode every week. It's kind of one big story broken down to like, I think it was like 50-something episodes. Same thing with if you go watch Darkwing Duck, it's the same way. It's all tied to one bigger story. It just holds up well.
Yeah.
And DuckTales was right on the cusp of me. Like, I was like 10 when it came out. And I was at that age. The demographic was for it. It was made for me, and like, I fucking loved it. I still do. I still love DuckTales. Not as much as Turtles, but there's something special about DuckTales.
Oh yeah.
There's something special about Turtles and stuff too, but that's more of a nostalgic feel, and like, I love Turtles because how, I watch it now, but I don't remember when I was a kid. But DuckTales has this, you watch it now, and it has this feeling, it makes you feel just happy. It's hard to explain unless you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just like, the song gets you in, and then you're like, oh, that's great. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I haven't seen this in years. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, I'm noticing that we had put a lot more time into the top 10 than I initially anticipated us doing it.
I guess we did.
We are, we have about like 9 minutes left for our normal.
We can cover Comic-Con in that. So I have the picture up of the Marvel's movie list.
What we talked about a little bit earlier.
But there's some on here that we didn't discuss.
Yeah.
Want to just go through the?
Yeah, we'll go like by release date. Does that work? Okay.
Yeah, I got it right here. May 1st, 2015, Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, which we did cover, and we both want to see. We're excited about it. It sucks that Ant-Man's not, and I think they should do Ant-Man first, bring him into the Avengers, and then do Age of Ultron.
Yep, but they're not doing that. That's the only Marvel movie we get in 2015.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. July 17th, 2015 is Ant-Man. Oh, Ant-Man comes out too.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
I apologize. May 6th, 2016. One I'm fucking very looking forward to.
Captain America.
Fallen Sun.
Fallen Sun, yep.
July 8th, 2016.
Doctor Strange. I still can't remember. Like, I feel like there's an actor who would look perfect for the role, and I'm still bugging me that I can't place it. Joaquin Phoenix still would be a good choice. I think you're right.
Yeah. May 5th, 2017. Thor.
Ragnarok.
Which, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, actually, Thor is... I genuinely enjoy those. Like, it was one of those things where the first one came out.
I did like one.
Like, the first one, it was good, but it wasn't, like, awesome good. It was like, it was a good movie. It was like, I don't feel disappointed the fact that I saw it.
Yeah.
But the second one was a lot better.
The second one was really good. What was you saying?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and how, like, Thor really got rolled into the Avengers movie, and I think that's what really made Thor was the Avengers movie. That's what really saved him. Kept him in that running.
Because if not, that would have been a dead franchise.
Yeah.
And Thor is the least successful of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, but it's come back.
Yeah,
I do have to say.
July 28th, 2015. Guardians of the Galaxy, War of Rings.
That's 2017, by the way.
What did I say?
You said 2016.
My bad. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, War of Rings.
Yeah, I want to see the first one. Isn't that coming out this weekend?
Yeah, I don't have reservations about the movie. I think the movie's gonna be good, but I think they're setting themselves up pretty high. Do you remember John Carter?
Yeah.
Biggest flop in movie history, correct?
Yeah, it was a good movie though. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Exactly. This is my point. They hurt themselves with marketing, I think.
Oh yeah, they didn't market it right.
Well, they marketed the fuck out of it. It was I remember saying a lot of times I can't wait for this movie to come out, so I stopped seeing commercials for it. But they said something in the trailers for the TV spots that made me go, "Oh, fuck you." And it was this generation Star Wars. You remember that?
Yeah. I remember that whole thing.
Guess what the new TV spot for Guardian Galaxy said?
Same thing.
This generation Star Wars, best Marvel movie ever. Really? Is it going to be better than Captain America? Doubt it. It's you got a franchise. You're making
you can't compare a movie to Star Wars. I think that's the biggest thing that they need to do.
Yes, they did. They might have hurt themselves. But also, what they're doing is they're taking characters from a comic that no one knew who the fuck they were. I don't care who you say anything.
Yeah.
No one knew Guardians of the Galaxy. They didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Some diehard comic fans did, and some people who read the comics might know who they are, but they ain't Iron Man, they ain't Spider-Man. So what they're doing is over-marketing, trying to be like, you know these guys, they're Marvel. That's all you need to know is they're Marvel. You're going to like it because it's Marvel. Yeah. If people, like, you know who's going to see Guardians of the Galaxy? Marvel fans. Do you know who went and saw Iron Man and Spider-Man and all that shit? Everybody.
Yeah,
and so they're trying to get people outside of the Marvel universe by saying, well, this is this generation Star Wars. Really? Because I'm pretty sure in 2015, December, Star Wars is coming out for this generation.
Yeah, they're not. I think you're right. They're not marketing it in the right way.
The first trailer was genius. They were like, no one knows who these guys are. Let's tell them. Let's be self-aware that this movie is a bad idea in theory. But now they're like, this is the best movie, this generation Star Wars. You're going to love it. You know them. It's like, no, first of all.
So I think what happened was that they started listening to the comic book fans. And from there, they took that marketing play, where it was one of those movies they were unsure about. Because I didn't really know who they were until I started reading a couple Avengers comics. And where they're facing Thanos, I believe it was. Right. And, that's when I was first introduced to them in a real sense. Yeah. And so with that, that was my first introduction. I didn't know that they existed. Well, I had, it's like I've heard of them, but I didn't really care at that,
Yeah.
One of those things. And then with that, they, you hear about the new movie and comic book fans who actually knew who they were, like the uber nerds.
Yeah, it's super nerds.
Yeah, and I don't mean that in a negative way in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But, I think there was a huge, oh my God, they're doing that? That's amazing, And I think because of that, it caused that hype.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to be good. It looks good.
Yeah, it does. It definitely looks good. And I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but I just hope it's probably going to do good business, but not business like this.
Well, they already have a second one scheduled, so they're really expecting it to be good.
Right, but it's iffy because they've done that before. They had John Carter 2 and 3 planned. I'm not saying this is going to be the next John Carter.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I would have loved to see John Carter 2 and 3 because I read the books and of the the first 3 books.
Yeah,
and
that was their
really
marketing. They were like before Star Wars and Avatar, there was John Carter, and this is this generation's Star Wars. No, it's not.
What's funny is that with their marketing play, want to know what caused me to want to see the movie? It was my dad telling me about it. My dad's like, holy crap, it's like that. I read those books as a kid. I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, it's the same writer who wrote Tarzan. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't they say this?
Yeah,
and they I guess they did kind of, but they more
See, when you make a statement like it's this generation so and so, you can't do that because Star Wars wasn't meant to be that generation Star Wars. It was just a filmmaker who made a movie he wanted to make, and it became bigger than the movie.
Yeah.
So when you say it's this generation Star Wars, you can't do that because you can't try to make this generation's anything. It just got to happen. And people look, they're like, fuck you. Don't tell me what I need to do. I'll see that movie if I want to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'm telling you, I talked to a few people who are like, I don't like that. I don't know if I'm going to see it now. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, because it's that scares me. When you're overhyping something, it means that you're trying to get people to see it because it's not going to do it on its own merit.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have this tendency that when someone overhypes something, especially certain people that I know, if they super hype up a movie, I have less and less interest in seeing it because it's in the past, it's led to me being disappointed. Like, this movie actually it wasn't that good.
You want to talk to Zach? I overhyped so much shit before. He was like,
Yeah.
Now I'm like, it was good, dude. And then it was fucking amazing. I know. I'm just gonna tell you that because I don't want to get your hopes up.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to overhype something because you ruin it because you give this expectations. Like now all the critics are like, it's good, it's really good, and it's like cool, but that's what you said about Sense and Sensibility. I don't really go by critics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so November 3rd, 2017, Black Panther.
Yep.
We talked about that briefly right at the beginning.
Yep. Then July 6th,
2018.
Avengers
Civil War. Oh my god, dude, I cannot wait.
If you go back, people, and you go back to, I think it's like episode 3. It's called Comic Con.
Yeah.
Our podcast we did after like 2 years ago. I said the only place they can go, the only logical place for them to go, and to end this whole Avengers run, is Civil War. I said that.
Yeah, and I cannot wait because that's gonna be huge. And it's like, I already told you my favorite Marvel hero is Iron Man.
Yep.
And I remember like he takes the side that I don't want him to take, but I get it. I understand why he does because of who he is as a character.
Yep.
It makes no sense for him to go any other way. And
Yep.
I can't wait to see this movie. I cannot wait for them to make it and have it be on the big screen. I'm watching. They're drooling like I am a special person over this movie.
Which means the next, probably it's going to start at Captain America, but they're going to probably start building up to Civil War because that's not just a one movie thing.
Yeah.
Then November 2nd, 2018, World War Hulk.
Yeah, and that's.
Oh.
I'm excited about that. Hopefully they'll keep Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk.
I think he's
they have
slated
to.
in, yeah. There's no one else that can go to. He is this Marvel's run Hulk. Like you can't replace him.
Yeah, like he's like the third Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
But like he's a great Hawk.
He really is.
Yeah.
And the one that I don't know too much about, even though I got the comics in my house because my fiance loves this comic. But May 3rd, 2019, Inhumans.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either.
Like I told her because I know she's got the comics. She's a huge Inhumans fan. And I was like, baby, they're making a Inhuman movie. And she went nuts. She was like, oh my god. So I'm gonna have to read her books because she's got a lot of the Inhuman books.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to read up on them. I know it's something like they're picked to be mutants. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. Like I've heard of it, but that's all I know. Like I've just heard of it.
Yeah.
I knew it existed in general, but that's all I got.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to catch up on that.
Yeah. So like a couple other things I want to bring up real quick before you finish up from Comic-Con. Season 5 Walking Dead trailer.
Yep, I watched it.
Awesome. Looks awesome. I'm excited about that.
Yep, it looks like more walking though. So.
Yeah. The Flash trailer. I'm kind of excited about that.
I was too, but then I was like, oh wait, I was excited for Arrow as well.
Well, Arrow. They say in season 3 they're gonna bring Ra's al Ghul. Like he's my favorite Batman villain.
Right. Well, he was hinted and he's into a little bit, but the problem with Arrow is I'm worried about with Flash is it's very CW. Like okay,
yeah.
You have 1-2 really good episodes and there's like 3 shitty episodes about the romance and I don't give a shit. So I'm iffy.
I haven't watched any of it, so I don't know. I don't have an opinion because I honestly just don't know.
Do you have Hulu?
Yeah, I have a Hulu account. I don't have like Hulu Plus or anything.
I think they're on Amazon Prime, like first season of Arrow. Don't get me wrong.
I think it's on Netflix also, unless they took that away.
Oh yes, season 1 of Arrow is really good. There's a couple episodes that are just like, get the fuck out of here, please. But for the most part, it's a good season. Like that's what got me hooked on it. In season 2, I was like, oh my god, they're dragging this shit. My god.
Yeah, a few people keep telling me I need to check it out.
I dug the first season of Arrow. This show's shit. I love it. And then there's a couple dull episodes, but season 2 is full of a lot of dull episodes. It's pretty much season 1 is origins and shit, and then season 2 kind of is the same fucking thing because it changes who he is. It's like, oh, we just went through an origin story.
You know what I am excited about, and I think it's coming out as a Netflix original. That new Daredevil series.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio and Rosario Dawson. I'm sure she's playing Elektra.
Yeah, I really want to see that. Like, I'm assuming I didn't see anything up about it from Comic-Con.
Oh no, it's because it's a Netflix show, so they're filming the whole season. They're gonna put the whole thing up at once.
Yeah. So I was hoping that they're gonna have like a trailer or like a sneak peek or something. Oh, actually, did you see the Batman?
The Bat Fleck.
Yeah, no, like the Batman Superman
teaser.
Yeah, the one that like got leaked.
No, I did not. I read the.
Oh my god, dude! All right, like
I know.
I don't even know if it's online anymore.
He was on the roof. He turns the bat signal on, and Superman's hovering over the bat signal and the red light eyes.
But it's like it's Batman in the suit of like he's gonna fight Superman.
Oh, he's got the metal suit on.
Yeah, like from what was it? The
Dark Knight Returns.
Yes, that one.
Oh.
When he fights Superman in that like that's what it kind of looks like. That suit.
Really?
Oh, dude. Oh my god. I saw that. I was like, oh my god. I was freaking out. I showed it to Amy. I'm sitting there like still freaking out like this little girl, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that looks really cool." I'm like, "No, but you don't get it. It's that suit."
Oh shit! It's right here.
Oh, you see it?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's. Oh, it got me so excited. I was like,
His eyes glow.
Yeah, because he's inside like a. I want to say like a mech suit kind of thing.
It was just a picture.
Oh, you just saw a picture?
Hold on.
All right.
I hate people that fucking put the picture up on the YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just a review of it.
Yeah, I think it was taken down.
It
was leaked. It wasn't supposed to be released.
But then all you see is fat signal page.
Oh, boy. I'm going to have to search for this shit later.
Yeah, what we could talk about in the next podcast. But,
yeah,
at this point, I think we're over our time.
Oh, we are.
But I felt the need to bring that up. Like, I was thinking about it. It's like, oh, my God, yeah. That's one of the things I wanted to put up on the site. It's like one of the noteworthy things to kind of bring up.
Right.
But like the quality of the video that I saw online wasn't the greatest, and I couldn't find any others.
Right.
So I didn't want to.
It's probably been taken down.
Yeah, it probably was. It's like the leaked.
Yeah.
Batman.
I'm still not sold on Jesse Eisenberg as Lex. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's time, huh?
Yeah, that's it for this week for the Retro Web Podcast. Again, like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube page. Send us an email, comment on the webpage. Let us know what you think about everything that we talked about, our top 10s. Give us your top 10. What did you think of the Batman leak trailer, if you happen to see it, or if you didn't see it? Do you think people are overhyping it? Like people like myself, where I was talking about I was like a giddy schoolgirl.
You are a giddy schoolgirl.
Interact with us. We like the interaction.
Yes, we do.
Makes us feel good.
Thank you for all the subscribers and listeners.
Yeah. Thanks for listening again. You guys are awesome for listening to something that we like to do because it's fun. It lets John and I have some us time together.
Aw, that's sweet. All right, well, that's it for this week. I gotta go do some garbage.
All right. I guess
by garbage, I mean I gotta go watch a Brett Ratner movie. And then take out our trash. Fuck you, Brett Ratner. You almost ruined X-Men.
Well, that's it for this week, and we'll catch you guys hopefully next week.
Bye.